Tonight on Eagle Angle, John DeSteiger discusses the recent temporary removal of small chapels.
Omicron leads colleges back to virtual learning.
And Oklahoma Christian's Ultimate Frisbee team takes home a national championship. All this and more coming right up on Eagle Angle. Hello, and welcome to Eagle Angle, a student-produced newscast live from the campus of Oklahoma Christian. I'm Spencer Plato.
And I'm Trinity Carpenter. The recent decision made to temporarily remove small chapels as a way to gain kudos has not been favored by some. Spencer Plato has the story.
Temporary cancellation of small chapels. His email experienced extreme backlash from students and some faculty members due to the matter. Many students reached out concerned, and a petition even made its way around the campus of Oklahoma Christian to keep small chapel alive.
The last couple of years, it seems like more and more people in society are getting angry and divided, and I thought it was a good time here at the university that we might be able to set a good example for the world, frankly. For a couple of different reasons, it made sense to at least temporarily suspend small chapels so that we would all be together. Gary Jones is leading the task force that's studying chapel and what it ought to look like this semester and going forward. So there could be a variety of things that take place that are different or that are the same. That task force has faculty and staff. I'm really glad that it has student voices on there as well.
After President DeSteiger's email sent to the student body, a number of students reached out with concerns. In his interview, he states that he replied to all concerns he received via email. He also mentions that not all feedback was negative towards the decision, but some rather supportive.
I want a student body that cares about things, and when we make a change in spiritual life, it means a lot to me that people are concerned about that and want to talk about that. Now, I had a number of people that were very concerned about the changes, but then I also had people that were really supportive of it as well. I've learned a ton of things. I've learned some things that, frankly, I hadn't even really thought about that much. I learned from input from students that a number of people are really anxious in big settings like Baugh Auditorium Chapel. Some people are concerned for health reasons about gathering together in such a big group in Baugh. Others have told me that they've found great community in the smaller groups and in fact had more opportunity to be involved in terms of participation and leadership in those smaller settings as well. And some people have also said, hey, programming for Big Chapel, it can be better. It can be more relevant and interesting to us. Watch the task force and get your ideas to the task force. We had a lot of really great programming that occurred for very small groups on campus. I think this is an opportunity for us to take some of the best of the smaller chapels and make sure that they are kind of broadcast to our entire campus. I'm hopeful that will possibly come out of this.
In the latest email from DeSteiger to the campus, he makes a point that while small chapels, groups, and service activities aren't a part of the spiritual life system to gain kudos, but he hopes and expects groups to continue to find a way to meet, connect, offer support, and as well as opportunities to serve. I'm Spencer Plato, reporting for Eagle Angle. School is back in session as COVID cases continue to rise. New guidelines are to be in effect for the campus of Oklahoma Christian to stop the spread. The COVID readiness team with lead Jeff McCormick have strongly encouraged students to receive their COVID vaccinations as well as a negative COVID test prior to returning to campus. In an interview with the Talon, COVID clinical officer Kim Langford stated that more than 100 students tested positive for the virus prior to returning to campus. The team has adopted this new CDC guidelines regarding isolation and quarantine posted on December 27th, stating that those who test positive need to isolate for 5 days and continue to wear a mask for the next 5 days. Mask wearing is not mandatory but is strongly encouraged by the readiness team. Students can find local testing sites by visiting www.testokc.com.
The Oklahoma Christian Spring Rush is in the air. Last night, the Women of Theta hosted their Spring Rush Carnival. The Spring Rush Club event will continue this week with Alpha Gamma Omega Spring Rush events. The Pencil is Mightier Than the Sword will take place later tonight from 6:45 to 8:15 in the PEC atrium, and Come Joust this Friday at 5:15 in the parking lot of the South Garvey Center in West Enterprise Square.
If you have any stories you would like us to report on, please send an email to our producer with the address on the screen. And now for our national news. Senate Democrats and Republicans are currently facing off to pass a voting rights protection bill. Here is CNN's Chris Wynn with the story.
On Capitol Hill, the Senate began debate Tuesday on voting rights legislation that combines two separate bills already passed by the House.
We have not reached the place where every person can vote easily and openly and honestly.
The Freedom to Vote Act would establish nationwide standards for ballot access, including requiring states to allow early voting and vote by mail. It would also make Election Day a federal holiday. The second measure, named after the late Representative John Lewis, would restore parts of the Voting Rights Act of 1965 that were weakened by the Supreme Court. Democratic Senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema are against exempting voting rights legislation from the filibuster.
And this is a fight. Voting rights is a fight. Republicans, when they show up with an axe. Democrats show up with a butter knife.
Supporters say voting rights measures are needed to undercut laws passed by Republican-led states that make it harder for people of color to vote.
Our future hinges on your decision, and history will remember what choice you make.
But opponents are calling the proposal partisan overreach, with some saying that more attention should be placed on the Electoral Count Act.
Let's have a bipartisan effort to clarify a law that's 150 years old rather than the efforts the Democrats are taking to politicize and use January 6th as a political weapon.
In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn.
Cases of the Omicron variant are continuing to rise throughout the United States, forcing many colleges to return to online learning. CNN's Alexandria Field has the story.
Another semester, the fifth now of its kind, COVID is creating even more challenges for colleges and universities across the country.
Challenges are really beginning to learn to live with the fact that we will have virus on campus.
Cornell University, hit hard by an explosion of Omicron cases in December, shut down their campus early before the holiday break. They'll start the new semester with 2 weeks of remote learning.
We recognize that we can't eradicate COVID, but we still want to limit it on campus and in particular protect vulnerable individuals.
Universities and colleges now making a flurry of last-minute adjustments, some adding booster requirements to vaccine mandates, others increasing testing protocols or upgrading standards for masks. Princeton University announcing travel restrictions that will bar students from leaving the county or the township upon return to campus, then just as quickly scrapping that plan, while Yale tries a campus-wide quarantine for the start of the semester, telling students avoid local businesses, restaurants, and bars, including outdoor drinking or dining. The latest attempts to manage the spread of Omicron deflating to too many students trying to capture what's left of a fleeting college experience.
It seems kind of scary that it might be like a regress to what it was earlier. I spent the majority of my days just in my apartment, not getting like the air, exercise, or the social interaction that I think is necessary and healthy for especially college-aged people.
It's like really hard to work in your room alone on that. So I think that would be just a big adjustment going back to that again.
Arizona State University says it's taking precautions amid the surge, but 2 years into the pandemic, prioritizing putting students in the classroom. Tens of thousands are back already, the university president telling KTAR.
Let's continue to just move forward. Let's continue to manage this virus as best we can. And, we've got lots of testing and we're using masks where we need to use masks.
Tools that are still helpful for keeping campuses open, for making things more normal for pandemic-weary students.
You can sort of see it in the way that the students seem to feel. I think, they're resilient, which is great, but there's a limit to some of that resiliency.
The 5G cell service has been delayed over concerns for its effect on airplanes. CNN's Isabel Rosales has the details.
Fears of an aviation crisis temporarily averted. Verizon and AT&T are now delaying activation on 5G high-speed service around certain airports.
We have to ensure that these airplanes are not going to be interfered with.
The same way a walkie-talkie or a baby monitor can pick up errant radio waves, airlines and plane manufacturers worry new 5G signals could interfere with key flight safety instruments. As a commercial pilot of 40 years, Captain Jim Schilling understands the potential safety risk.
If I determine the risk is nothing I can manage, then I have to reject the aircraft.
Executives from the largest U.S. airlines penned an urgent letter Monday to the White House saying, to be blunt, the nation's commerce will grind to a halt, and warning upwards of 1,000 flights could be disrupted per day should 5G be launched.
Well, the passengers will be safe, but it will be really damaging to customers.
AT&T and Verizon insist fears are unfounded.
I think it's important that we take the time to study and understand.
Biden's administration is in talks with federal agencies, wireless carriers, airlines, and manufacturers to find a solution without sacrificing safety.
Certainly, minimizing flight disruptions, ensuring safety in travel is a top priority.
I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
That's all for our national news. When we come back, we'll take a look at our Eagle Angle weather report.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We have this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother and...
I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Good day, Oklahoma. I'm Hannah Warner here with your Eagle Angle Weather Report.
It's been chilly these past few days, but we thought we got a break tomorrow, but I'm afraid cold weather's still in the way. We have 33 degrees right now. That's a degree above freezing, and it's cloudy, and it feels like 21 degrees. Now, how about across the state? So across the state, we have a mixture of temperatures, with our highest being in Durant at 43 degrees roughly, and we have 33 at OKC where we are now. And finally, we have even in the lows at Guyman of 29 degrees. And how about for tonight's temperatures? So tonight's temperatures, expect it to get even lower at 22 degrees with strong winds at 23 miles per hour from the southwest. And finally, a low humidity of 36 degrees. It's going to be cold and dry this evening, so make sure to button those coats up. And finally, let's look at our weekend. It's going to be a mixture of sunny and cloudy with partly sunny on Saturday and sunny on Sunday and Friday sunny. So expect it to be chilly, but expect a break from these clouds that we've seen in the sky today. And now, how about our 5-day forecast? So as you can see, on Thursday, we're going to be cloudy with a high of 27 and a low of 14 degrees. And tomorrow on Friday, we're going to get a low as 11 degrees. But those highs and lows are going to continue upward as far as on Sunday and Monday. We're going to actually get into the 60s with lows still in the 20s and 30s. But throughout the day, it'll be a little bit hotter with sunlight and barely any clouds. Today will just be the worst of the worst for the next 5 days. And now that's all for the Eagle Angle Weather Report. After the break, Spencer will be here to bring you the latest in the Entertainment Corner.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
What are you looking for?
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
I'm Spencer Plato, and welcome to the Entertainment Corner. This past Friday, Leslie Grace, star of the new Batgirl movie, posted a photo of herself in the Batgirl suit on Twitter. Little is known about the film, except that it will follow Barbara Gordon as she dons the cape and cowl to fight crime. Batgirl will star Leslie Grace as Batgirl, Michael Keaton as Batman, and J.K. Simon as Commissioner James Gordon. The movie is set to release in 2022 on HBO Max. The Grammys has a new date and venue. Yesterday, the Recording Academy announced that the Popular Music Awards show will be airing on April 3rd and will be held in the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. This will be the first time in 49 years that the Grammys will be held in a city other than Los Angeles or New York. After the beloved actress Betty White had passed at age 99, 1 week prior to her 100th birthday, fans were shocked and saddened to hear the news. The actress was not only known as an icon for her roles on screen, but also as the advocate for animals. For Betty's 100th birthday, fans donated to animal welfare charities and shelters as part of the #BettyWhite Challenge. The idea is to donate $5 to a local animal rescue organization under Betty White's name on her 100th birthday. One animal welfare organization in Utah had raised over $25,000 in White's name. Many are participating in this challenge, such as other celebrities and even popular television channels donated in honor of Betty White. In TV news, CBS popular crime drama Bull will be ending after 6 seasons. Yesterday, the star of Bull, Michael Weatherly, posted on Twitter announcing that the show is coming to an end. Weatherly posted, "Hello all, it's been my privilege to play Dr. Jason Bull. But after 6 seasons of incredible storylines, I've decided it's time to pursue new creative challenges and bring his story to a close. It has been an honor to work with this talented cast, crew, and writing/producing team who helps reinvent the legal drama. Stay tuned for a big series finish. Thanks to all the fans from the bottom of my heart. You will always be a part of our Bull family." Bull followed Dr. Jason Bull, the founder of the trial consulting firm Trial Analysis Corporation, and his team of experts as they used intuition, data, and narratives to help their clients with court cases. This series was inspired by Dr. Phil McGraw's early career. That's all for today's Entertainment Corner. Here's Trinity Carpenter, who has your Eagle Angle Sports Report.
Thanks, Spencer. Last month, Oklahoma Christian's Ultimate Frisbee team took home the program's first ever national championship, traveling all the way to Norco, California for the tournament. The team was seeded 4th going into the USA Division III College Championship, beating high-seeded teams such as the #1 team along the way, as well as winning 16 straight postseason games. This was the first national title earned by an Oklahoma Christian club sports program and the first national title won by any OC team since the fall of 2012. The Oklahoma Ultimate team had an unforgettable season and postseason, but will be back before you know it to participate in hopefully another national tournament. Last Wednesday, Oklahoma Christian's athletic director, David Lynn, announced that the Lady Eagles game against Western New Mexico is postponed. The game was scheduled for January 15th, but was postponed due to COVID-19 protocols. The game has yet to be rescheduled. This will be Oklahoma Christian's 4th postponed game due to COVID-19 protocols. Disc golf is the newest sport to be added to Oklahoma Christian's club sports. The program will be coached by Calvin Ryan. Coach Ryan graduated from Oklahoma State University this past December and will be serving as a graduate assistant in Oklahoma Christian's athletic department. In an interview with OKSeaEagles.com, Coach Ryan described his excitement for the future of this collegiate disc golf. Just seeing this happen and seeing a school give scholarships for disc golf is a sign that the sport is finally being taken more seriously. It's finally growing to a level to have scholarship-based programs. I think this is just the beginning. I think a lot of colleges will start to follow suit, especially if we do well, which is the goal. And for the upcoming Eagle sports events, tonight, the Oklahoma Christian's men and women's swim team will be taking on Sterling College at 7 p.m. Tomorrow night, the Oklahoma Christians men and women's basketball teams will be facing off against Texas A&M. The women's game will start at 5:30 and the men's game will start at 7:30. Friday, both the Oklahoma men's and women's track teams will be at the Rumble in the Jungle Invitational in Pittsburg, Kansas, at the Robert W. Plaster Center. The event will begin at 1 p.m. Saturday, the men's and women's bowling club will be at SWIBC 5 in Dallas, Texas. The men's and women's track teams will be at the J.D. Martin Invitational in Norman, Oklahoma. The women will start at 10 a.m. and the men will start at 12 p.m. The men's and women's basketball teams will be taking on Texas A&M once again, and the women will be starting at 2 p.m. and the men will start at 4 p.m. For more information on Oklahoma Christian sporting events, visit OCEagles.com. That's all for your Eagles this break.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Staring contest.
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
You are loved. You are valued. You are resilient. You got this.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
That's your
That's all for today's Eagle Angle. We hope you have a good start to the new semester, and we'll see you for next week's show.
Where it's your campus,
your news.